Okay, happy Cinco de Mayo. Yes, if you, yes, maybe Margarita too after this class. Yes, and I hope like you enjoy nice weather, and we finally got spring. Nobody believed it, and spring did work out, but slowly but surely we have nice weather.
Yes.
It's really exciting day, and I'm excited to introduce our third guest speaker, Mr. Sanjay Kumar. Sanjay, he organized a company called Inalytica, and in this company, he's specifically doing a lot of work with artificial intelligence and machine learning, and he's going to talk about his company, projects, and kind of these topics in general. Also, we have one of his friends, Richard Ballard, joining us today, so please enjoy.
Thanks, Professor Alex, and good afternoon, everyone. And it's nice to see in such a nice sunny weather.
Yes.
You guys are here to listen artificial intelligence, right? And I'm sure that everybody is excited about what is artificial intelligence. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to talk a little bit about my background, about myself, and then I will give like very brief overview of AI, what is AI, and how it's going to impact the human life. Then the focus of this class is customer analytics, so I'll be focusing more on application of AI in customer analytics. And finally, I will take you to the real world where I did some real client work, and I will run by with you guys, and let's get you started. So about myself, I'm founder of Inalytica, and before that I was a senior director at Mylan, which is a second largest generic company. And now I work as a consultant in this role. I consulted many Fortune 500 companies, including AbbVie, Walmart, Target, J&J. And I have an MBA from Kellogg School of Management. It's not long before when I was sitting not far from here, right, across the road, and listening this kind of same thing. So a lot of things were going in my mind also, and I will encourage you guys to raise the hand and ask questions. That would be very helpful. And also I have bachelor's and master's in computer science. So this all thing, computer science, business, all these things are converging. And that's where the power of artificial intelligence comes. So let's start with like how AI is impacting the human life, right? You guys might heard that with the help of Google AI, NASA is able to find a new planet called Kepler 90I. And this was not possible earlier because the signal we get from the Kepler planet is very, very weak. And Google AI machine was able to analyze around 15,000 features, and the signal they were getting very, very weak. And based on them using their AI and machine learning technology, they were able to find out the new planet. And then on the right hand side you have AlphaGo. So AlphaGo is considered most difficult game which can be programmed using computer, right? And Google DeepMind is able to beat AlphaGo champion KG, who is considered like a very, very brightest, right? It's very hard to beat them. And then coming closer to like in general healthcare, and healthcare is very close to my heart because I see there are tons of opportunity that can be done using AI. So using AI and after doing the image processing, the computer can detect cancer cells, right? Which is, some of them are very hard to detect using human eye. And then if somebody has cardiovascular disease, earlier they need to go and take blood and other tests to detect it, but now somebody can take the picture of your retina and it can be used to detect whether you have a cardiovascular disease or not. Just to think the application of these kind of healthcare technology in terms of not much in developed world, but the developing world where the infrastructure is very, very at the minimal. There are very less number of doctors, so many huge population is there. Technology can help to change the life of many people who are living other side of the world, especially in the developing world, like India, like Africa. So those worlds will be will have huge impact on this kind of technology. So now the question is, what is AI? So how we define AI? So in my opinion, this is an intelligent system or machine which can act and behave like a human. So the goal is, can machine replicate human brain? And the technology which is being used to develop the AI system, it is more or less they are trying to replicate the human brain, the way human function. So what are some of the key component of AI, right? So one side on the top you have a technique, what you call the machine learning technology or deep learning technology. And then you have image and video processing. It's like what is called in AI world the computer vision, right? You have images, you have video, because look at how it is much easier task to take a picture nowadays and post on the web, send it to your friends, right? Like a smartphone has changed the game, right? So this images and video, they're generating huge amount of data, and that how can it be processed to get the meaningful insight, like for the cancer cells, right? And then you have text. So nowadays everybody uses Twitter, Facebook, and blog, like when we speak, right? So we leave a lot of information behind our digital print, behind on the web or digital media. So that's another part where you need to process the natural language or understand or generate. And then finally you have speech to text and how to convert speech to text and text to speech. And I'm going to talk about in detail image and text and how we are going to leverage this technology to get the customer insight. So couple of AI and machine learning techniques. So this is the normal general analytics techniques which is being used today, right? So if you start from here, it's more like a traditional traditional analytics technique where you use say like a very basic stat like a mean, mode, median, which is called descriptive stat. And then you go a little bit higher, you have like a linear classifier, naive-Bayes classifier. That is there in like almost 20. But if you go to the upper right hand corner, where the techniques are advanced techniques, and those are the techniques which is being used for the AI. There's something called deep learning techniques. So the applications, some of the part of technology of the deep learning, something called CNN is called convolutional neural network, or RNN, which is called a recurrent neural network. So I'm going to talk about CNN and RNN a little bit more in little more depth, how it works. And then you have transfer learning, reinforcement learning. So I'm not going to throw a lot of technology here, just this is for your awareness only. And if somebody is interested, they can Google it and find it, what is those technology are. And then the next question is how we can use these techniques and technology to drive to use in the customer analytics, right? Customer insight, right? So just to think from the marketer point of view, right? What they want. They want to know like what customer want to buy, where they want to buy, and when they want to buy, and how I can reach out to them in the most cheapest and best way, right? And then once you have acquired customer, how you are going to serve them, right? And I want to be there whenever you need me, right? So that's the goal of the marketer, right? So how can I serve them? And then, I can serve to you, but I want to keep my cost minimal, right? So that's where technology is going to play a major role. So it's all start from data, right? So because as I mentioned earlier, we are living lot of footprints, lot of different kind of data. And what is different between say like data which were available 10 years back and now is lot of data is being available in the form of text, image, video and speech, right? So that's the fundamental difference. You might have done some work on like a linear regression, predicting something using structured data, right? Transactional data. So those kind of data is available. But the challenge is text is there, image is there, video is there. How can a marketer leverage those information to get the customer insight, right? That's the key here. So let's talk about image processing, how image is being processed using AI technique, right? So this is called convolutional neural network, right? What the input of this network is like a feed a image, and it goes to the multiple layer of neurons. It's exactly the network of neurons. So when you see here this layer contains multiple neurons, the way a brain functions, right? And you take the image and you take a small window and slide over the image, and you pick what are the relevant or important for you in each layer, right? And you go through multiple of those kind of layers, right? So at the end of those processing, you see that actually whether it's a cat or a dog or whatever you want to detect. Okay, if anyone has any question, just raise the hand and I'll be happy to answer. So feel free to interrupt. Or I'm going too fast, just slow me down. So for example, let's take some example here, right? So like you want to buy a cloth, which say like he is wearing, right? And you can take a picture and put on the web, and it will give you, okay, this exactly same kind of clothes is available in this store at this price, right? So these things were not possible earlier. Or you want a sandal, right? So take a picture of sandal and upload on the web and see like, here we go, right? And earlier the most of the search was text related search, right? Which you cannot translate this dress into text form, right? So that's the key here. Then think from marketer's perspective, right? Say like I'm a marketer, I want to know whether in your household, whether some kids are there or not, right? So a lot of people love love to post their family photo on the Facebook or whatnot, the other side, right? So what marketer does is, Facebook take the picture, right? And it can easily detect whether your mom, dad, kids are there or not, right? And they can start sending coupon or ad to your email ID or your home. Hey, you have a kid, you buy this dress. This is the latest trend in the teenager or whatnot. So just to think how powerful marketing concept has become, right? Like I can know. So there was a problem when Target somehow wrongly detected that there is a baby in a household and they started sending the baby related coupons. So some anomalies are there, but most of the time these things are accurate. Okay. Then third example is, say like you go to mall and they have billboard, right? And you go and react to an ad, right? Oh wow, like this, I love it. Just to think from marketer point of view, they are collecting all the information in terms of interaction, right? They can know whether how my audience are responding to my ad, because when they make an ad, they spend a lot of money, right? And they can easily get feedback, and then they can take the feedback and then incorporate those changes, right? And then, I mean, you guys might have heard about the Amazon has opened some stores in Seattle, which doesn't have cashier, right? So how that works? It's all behind this kind of technology, right? They use the facial recognition technology to detect your face, and then whatever item you are lifting from the aisle, they can detect, and then because your face is tied to your ID and is tied to your payment system, they can easily connect and you have the cashierless store, right? The future is good, but future is bad also. Right? So anything is possible. So now let's go to the text processing, right? So probably you guys have heard about Alexa, Google now. Every home has almost these devices, right? So and the good thing is they are very smart. These devices are always on. So what it means, right? They are always listening, right? What you are talking at home, right? They know, oh, you need this thing. It means I can go and process that information and send a coupon to you, right? That's what they do, right? So and whatever you write on say like Facebook or Twitter or wherever it is, that's why they are collecting your data. Data has become very, very important, very, very powerful, right? Without data, nothing is possible, right? So how they process this information? Again, this is called, I talked about the recurrent neural network, right? So what is this? When we talk or when you do the text processing, in this, when we try to model the language, the sequence matter, right? Because say like I ate apple and I have an Apple iPhone. These are the two different things. So how computer will understand? These are two different things. So that's where this technique, which is very, very recent, is like in the paper published in 2016. You do the model in terms of sequence. So here, say like if you give A, B, C, D, and then the output will be X, Y, G. So a lot of, you might have heard Google language translator, right? So the technology behind Google language translator, in which the Pixel phone, you can translate, this is the technology that is being used to translate from whatever language you want. But there is a Google scale so that they can build. But the technology, this is the technology, right? So let's take the example of what is the application. So now everybody knows chatbots, right? What is chatbots? And everybody likes to type and they will respond and do left and right, then they will get lost, right? So what happens behind chatbot? This is the same technology, right? So when you write something, right? Say like you write like post the last 3 pictures took on Facebook, right? So something called, from the natural language, the way we speak, they try to detect something called intent. What is your intention to do, right? So here, what is the intent here? Here the intent is, I want to share my photos on the Facebook, right? So here what is happening, here they are doing the natural language processing, right? So this element will detect, okay, share. So after that, it's all mechanical thing. But the intelligence lies here, in terms of natural language processing, right? So that's what and the best application is customer service, right? Again, it's from the marketer point of view, how can I reduce the cost and serve my customer? And if you take it to the next level, so now in many call center application, they have put this kind of technology, to detect when you speak to a representative, how are you happy, sad, neutral? So those kind of mood they were able to detect. And based on that, the customer service representative respond to you accordingly. If you are very angry, then he need to be get cool, right? Because they might lose customer, right? So that's the key here. So this is the technology. So now let me start the case study. Okay, so this is the real project, okay, and which I did for one of the CPG, one of the largest CPG companies, and the data was used for NFL 2011-12 season, and they want to understand their customer behavior, right, using the Twitter data. So the question their marketing department was asking is, identify who the fans are, right? Like where they live, where they go for shopping, what they talk about, and what are their demographic, how they are distributed across different kind of geography, right? So just to think from the marketer point of view, why he is asking this kind of question? What is the objective, right? Because they want to know their customer, right? They want to know their customer, they want to understand what they do, how they act, how they behave, so that when I am targeting them, I should use very focused approach. It should not be hit and try, right? It should be very, very focused approach. And that's what they did exactly same thing. And the response was, ROI was huge as compared to what they were doing earlier. Okay?